Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Growler Hour COVID edition once again, like our pilot episode.
Yeah, just welcome and thanks for listening to the Growler Hour.
Yeah, that's right.
Hell yeah.
So, if you didn't listen to the last episode, we had the privilege of being able to interview Scott Lucas from Sanctum Brewing in Pomona, California, which I forgot to mention in the last podcast, but they were the very first brewery to open up in Pomona, which is a whole nother reason why I wanted to interview them now that they had their unfortunate closing. It really hits home for me since I was a huge fan of them. They were kind of like my hometown brewery when I was living in Pomona. Well, I lived in Pomona all my life, but yeah, loved that place and was so happy that we were able to sit down with Scott Lucas and kind of talk about some memories, talk about what was going on with the brewery, and just kind of catch up. So, yeah.
Yeah, and just Josh had taken me there, and it was a lovely place, and I had a lot of fun over there. You know, we would take the dogs over there, or the dog, and
the dog,
the dog,
the one dog,
the one dog at the time.
No plural there.
Yeah, no plurals. Well, I say dogs because I have two dogs, but also
because you are a dog.
Also,
that's right. I walked you there. You are a dog. That's actually right.
I'm a mutt.
It makes sense. Full circle. You're a damn dog. I walked you there because we did actually walk there the first time, I think.
Yeah. I'm basically a mutt. I'm 7 different ethnic backgrounds. So whatever. We kind of want to talk about it. You know, we call ourselves the Growler Hour, but because of COVID, you know, we decided to go with Zoom. So right now we have Crowlers, which is 32 ounces instead of 64. And, just... we don't want to get too messed up off a growler each, and so we're just gonna match. And
definitely don't want to go that far down the rabbit hole where we're getting too drunk.
Yeah, but
like we did the very first time we did a Facebook Live like years ago, or you did a Facebook Live while we were making beats.
Yeah, so we're being safe in many ways. Staying at home, quarantining, and doing the best we can, and not getting too drunk.
Yeah, it sucks because I was really hoping for us to do this in person again, like we did in the first episode, which, by the way, we lost all the footage and all the audio that we recorded from that, and we're only able to salvage what we did on the Zoom call, and that's how we facilitated the interview with Scott Lucas, which sucks. But there's more COVID news coming out right now, more closures happening, and so we decided it would be best to just stay safe and stay at home and do this over Zoom again.
Yeah, and it's a very smart thing to do, and I hope everyone else is out there is being very safe.
Yeah. Wear your masks. Wear your freaking masks. Don't be a Karen. Wear your mask.
Oh gosh, that's where you're gonna go with it.
No, but seriously, no. Well, come on, dude. These people, like I don't know. It's frustrating to me. How you just don't understand how wearing a mask can help you. Like, I'm literally thinking about your life and my own, and people that you may go home to and spread the disease, or not the disease, but the virus to. And, you might go home to your mom who may be over the age where it's going to cause complications. And I don't want to give that to you to then give to her. And I don't want you to do the same with me. I'm staying away from my family right now, but for those reasons, for their own safety and for mine, I feel like a lot of people are just taking advantage. And that's not to say that some of these people don't really have a health issue, but I think a lot of this is being blown out of proportion. And I don't want to make light of a situation of an illness that someone may have, but I do think that people are trying to take advantage of the situation and not wear a mask for their own selfish reasons, and just don't do it. Wear a fucking mask.
Yeah, those are the weirdest things when you see people just kind of like people spit on people. What is going on there? It's like, and then
oh my God, I forgot that people were like, why? Why does someone need to cause malicious intent harm on someone else for their own enjoyment? When I was 12, 13, I was a little shit. I was a little kid who would.
I know you were. You still are.
Break people's sprinklers for no stupid, for absolutely no reason. and I'm not saying I did that like just walking down the street, but like it was like something that I would do, like stupid little kid, and like shame on me for acting like that. But like I get coming from a little shit perspective, but we're grown adults now. We can't be little shits anymore.
Yeah, we're 28, 29.
Well, not just us. I mean, like all these people that are doing the stupid shit, man. Like we're all grown adults. Yeah, no, that's true. Come on, man.
I know, and it's sad when someone's just trying to be safe, and then like people are just going out there and just kind of like, just being assholes about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't subscribe to the idea that it's okay to not wear a mask in public. I think it's selfish. I think it's stupid. And I'm sorry if you're listening and you're one of those people, but, just do your part. Like we're all in this together, whether you believe in the coronavirus or not, just don't be selfish. That's all. Like at the end of it, that's what I think. So
it hurts people in many different ways, But all right, well, let's kind of get back into like in it.
We are the Growler Hour, so let's get into it.
Yeah, not the COVID hour.
No, not the COVID hour. Nobody wants the COVID hour. We'll leave that to the many other podcasts on the interwebs to take care of coronavirus. I really am not very educated in it, and I don't care to spread too much awareness, or not awareness, but too much news and facts about it. I just thought we should talk about it a little bit, since this is the situation that we're in. We're on a Zoom call right now.
Yeah, I mean, the most I know is that people are getting sick. That's about it.
Yeah.
Well, they're having cases.
Don't get sick, people.
Yeah.
Don't get sick. It's that simple. Don't get sick. Well, it's not that simple because you got to protect yourself. Protect yourself to not get sick.
Fuck it. All right. Anyways, the beer that we chose.
Yeah. So, you want to introduce our beer, Jimmy?
Yeah. So we picked up a Growler each at different times, being safe, from Noble Ale Works, and it is called I Wish I Was a Little Bit Taller. And it is an
I wish it was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
It speaks to me.
Yes.
But yeah, Noble's cool. I've been there a couple times. I don't know if you've been there ever before. Have you, Jimmy? Was that your first time?
No, I haven't.
Just picking up a Growler? Oh, okay.
Yep. Well, I mean, you suggested it, so I was like, all right, fuck it, let's do it.
Well, I figured let's try a new brewery, especially one that I haven't tried in a long time, because I'm so used to going to Green Cheek down the street, or like even Unsung, or like something like that's so close to me. And Noble's just a drive down the freeway from me. And actually, I hit it on my way back from work yesterday.
Yeah.
So it worked out perfectly. But let's open these Growlers and let's get started.
All right.
Woo! And so the Irish, I was a little bit taller, is an Irish red.
Yep.
So I'm really excited because I don't think I've drank a red ale in a few years. A long time.
I haven't had one maybe in a year. Maybe the closest I would have is maybe would be a brown ale.
This is good. It's an Irish red. I thought it was an imperial red for a second.
Oh, you're gonna drink out of a glass?
Yeah. So you guys want to watch my pour? Let's do the pour.
Oh, you're gonna spill, fool.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Good thing I didn't get it on my paper.
That's why you should have totally took a sip.
Oh, and that was a horrible pour. Nobody look at this. Camera, pan off of me.
Hey, fool, you give good head. So for people that are listening...
Damn it, Jimmy.
For people that are listening, half of this glass has a head on it.
Well, I'm just going to grab myself a napkin real quick.
I remember the first time I poured my beer.
You're so funny. Zing!
Yep.
Totally got me for calling you out last time for that.
You did that last time. No, I got it right.
No, bitch. I don't know about that. Maybe. Well, either way, we got a nice Irish red, and it tastes delicious.
Yes, it does.
It's very full, very fragrant. It smells great.
That totally went down the wrong pipe. Oh man.
Only you, Jimmy.
Yeah.
The No, but yeah, representing Anaheim Brewery on my glass that I'm drinking out of.
And
you're watching the video, which, by the way, I encourage people to watch this twice. Watch it once. I mean, listen to it once on Spotify and whatever other platforms we decide to expand to. And then the second time on YouTube, because then you get to see the experience that we're having. You get to see this nice Noble Growler that I have, this Anaheim Brewing glass that I'm drinking out of. I mean,
your
it's an
guitar
experience,
in the background, the speakers,
my guitar, my bass. You can see my my life here.
Yeah, you can see my my blinds, my ceiling, my window.
Beautiful, Jimmy. I love it.
Yes.
You have such a beautiful apartment.
Yes, it is nice and clean in the air.
Yes.
In the ceiling.
Seal Beach. You know what? The one thing I do love about going down to your area is how like clean the air feels out there. It just like, I don't know. There's something about being at the beach that the air just feels cool, like clean, breezy. The smell of the beach is just beautiful, man. I love it.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to record one of these at your place when this is over.
Yeah, yeah, it's really nice out here. Lately, I've been walking the boardwalk, and actually, a couple of friends, they would hit me up, and then we would just have like a beer, like right on the boardwalk or a spot on the beach. So
nice.
Yeah, just get like a 6-pack or just get like one, just chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. It's great that you're like walking distance from the beach. Like literally just 5 minutes. Less than 5 minutes.
Less than 5 minutes. Yeah, 2 minutes, dude.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
so
really
anyways,
cool.
so I mean, yeah, I had the idea to get this growler from Noble. I mean, they're so close by, and I don't go there as often as I feel I should, because as I always say, Green Cheek is a place for me. Let's get that sponsorship.
Get that sponsorship.
But
Green Cheek's cool.
Green Cheek is cool, but we're talking about Noble today because that is the beer of choice for the day.
Have you always just picked up from there, or have you
Noble?
Just hung out there? Yeah.
No, I did pick up from there once. I picked up a 4-pack of a really good West Coast IPA maybe about a year ago. But normally me and my girlfriend have gone and sat down there. And it's right down the freeway. It's here in Anaheim, California. It was established in 2009, so they just had their 10-year anniversary last year, which kudos to them, doing a great job.
Nice.
And they're in the Platinum Triangle area of Anaheim, I guess, which is Anaheim lingo for the area that's next to the Angel Stadium, close to the Honda Center. There's a lot of other breweries in that area, like Brewheim, Backstreet Brewing. I know there's a couple more. I mean, Golden Road's down the street. We've been there. We talked about a story about Golden Road on the last podcast that we have no audio or video for.
Yeah,
maybe we should bring that up. Maybe we should bring that up later.
Yeah,
later on today. Yeah, we'll retell that story.
Yeah,
we'll tell it better because actually last time we were struggling to tell the story. Because as we normally do, we cut each other off and we talk a bunch of shit and never get to the point of the story until like 10 minutes later. But no, Noble's cool. So actually, funny story. I think the first time that I went and sat down there, me and Jenny, my girlfriend, we went there, and I think it was her birthday. Pretty sure it was her birthday. Might not have been our first time there. It might have been a couple times after. But anyways, we're sitting there we're sitting there drinking whatever beers we had at the time. And I think I was drinking some sort of Imperial Stout or something at the time.
Do they have a food truck that goes there too?
They have plenty of food trucks that go there. I know there's
that's cool.
One that I've seen. Yeah, definitely. They have, so like many of the breweries in our area, they have a food truck or food trucks that stop there pre-COVID era. But yeah, we were there and we're drinking our beers, having a good time. And this guy kind of comes up to us and is just standing there. And I kind of look over and he's like, "Hey, Josh, remember me?" And I'm like, look at him and I'm like, holy shit, So it's this guy that I used to be in a band with. Used to be in a band with. Does that make sense? Anyways, we were in a band together.
In a band with?
Come on. Our band with. No, we were in a band together when I was probably 16, 17. The band was called Everest. And we were like a experimental indie rock band. I don't know what you want to call us. We were like ambient post rock. I don't know. Post hardcore rock. I don't know. Yep. Anyways, so this guy I haven't seen in years, like probably more than 10 years. He used to sing for one of my bands. He like auditioned at our drummer's house, and we let him be in the band, and then we played a few shows together, and then we parted ways. I don't remember why. I don't remember what happened. I think the band just kind of went downhill, and
like all of yours.
But anyways, here's this guy standing in front of me that I haven't seen in over 10 years, and I'm like, holy shit, it's Justin. Wow. And then that was a blast from the past. So that was like a cool experience that I had there. Beer brings community, and I love it.
Speaking of community, yes, that is why I like breweries.
Great show. I love it. Yeah, you're right, Jimmy.
Yeah, you just, because out here with like the local brewery that was over here, I'll bring them up later. You would have like just different types of peoples. Like we would always have like bars out here that were open for a brief moment, and the ambiance of a brewery is just way different. It's more people that want to be sophisticated with beer rather than like just getting drunk, I mean, we have gotten drunk. We have gotten drunk, but like that's just like you're not really trying to get drunk.
Like just snooty behavior and snobbiety.
I wouldn't call it snobby. I would just say it would be more, like they appreciate it a lot more. Rather than just
I get that.
Yeah.
I mean, we appreciate beer. I mean, we're sitting here, we're doing a growler hour, man. We're appreciating Noble Ale Works and the beautiful, actually, this Irish Red it brings back good memories. And I think that's a good point to make when you're thinking about beer. And I feel like, and I thought about this the other day, but I feel like sometimes you drink a beer and it brings you to this place that maybe.
No, you're totally right, because to be honest, I chose the Irish Red because as like a different thing other than an IPA, because I had a red ale when I was in Washington, and that was like the first craft beer I've ever had. Like that, like I knew other than like just IPAs, like just the mainstream ones, and what's it called? Other than
do you remember what that red ale was?
Yeah, it was from Colshan in Bellingham, Washington.
Colshan.
Yeah, Kulshan. Yeah, in Bellingham, Washington.
I'll have to look them up.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, so you didn't get to experience Noble the way we should be experiencing things, and this goes back to the whole COVID situation.
Yeah, because we should be going to places and then just kind of like just kind of getting our experiences out of them, and then just kind of explaining our experiences.
Definitely.
This COVID thing sucks.
It does, and I think we're getting a growler, and right now we're not able to sit down anywhere and like really have the whole brewery experience.
Exactly.
But I feel like that's important for our show, because part of the beer experience is the community, it's the atmosphere, it's all of the above.
Yep.
And I just, it sucks right now that we can't really go sit down anywhere. And even if we wanted to, even if things were open to the public in a better way, or like people were able to sit inside again, like, is it worth the risk? But I don't know. We'll save that for another day.
Definitely not. I would say give it a few more months, maybe. But if you got to go to work, I'd say go to work. But like, don't just try to go out and stuff. I mean, restaurants are struggling. And I live in Seal Beach, California. So there's just like a lot of small businesses shutting down, and I feel really bad for them.
Yeah,
it sucks.
I agree. It sucks. This is such a hard time, and glad that we can support our local breweries, our local restaurants. Anything or anybody that's just trying to hustle during this time. And big shout out to Noble Ale Works, of course, because they are our unofficial sponsor for this episode. But I hope they see this, and I hope they sponsor us one day with some beer. That would be great. But let's continue moving on. It's great beer, dude. Like, I really
it's
like
very tasty. It's nice and smooth. Yeah, I really like it. I've been kind of sipping it right now. I don't want to finish it too quick.
Yeah, thank you, Noble. Yeah, I'm definitely going to finish this way too quick. That's for sure.
Well, yeah, with all that spilling. We would like to promote some of our friends, some local talent businesses. I would like to promote one of my friends. He has the Zero Gravity podcast. Look him up. It's Life in Zero Grav. You can catch his handle at Life in Zero Gravity. Zero being just a number, numerical. So check him out.
Number 0 gravity.
Yes, and check him out. And
you can search on Spotify too, just Life in Zero Gravity, and it'll pop up. Simple as that. Simple as that.
Yeah,
and actually, Jimmy, talk about his last episode, because that was kind of special, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was fun. I was you can look me up on OG Me, on one of his episodes, and it was really fun. I had a great time. We talked about stupid stuff, going from like high school and
very stupid stuff. I might add.
What? We just kept on going on a tangent.
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding, man.
Talked about Pomona.
No, it was cool. I feel like maybe I'm biased because I feel like it's two friends just having a conversation. So to me, it was entertaining. To other people, who knows, But it was fun. It was fun to listen to.
You don't think we're friends?
I'm saying who? You and the rest of the world?
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, we were having a fun time. It
was fun. It was cool to listen to. So shout out to Life in Zero Gravity. Our buddy Zach.
Yeah, actually, I think the podcast name is actually Life in Zero Grav.
Is it Life in Zero Grav?
Yeah, not gravity, but his Instagram handle is at Life in #0 Gravity.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And we also want to promote a couple other places, people, friends, and we think it's so important to support, local talent, local artists, small businesses, everything in between. And so I just wanted to give a shout out to one of my friends' clothing companies, Fiction Los Angeles. You can find them at fictionlosangeles.com and then at fiction.losangeles on Instagram. So make sure to look them up. They make some pretty cool clothing. I like it. Maybe I should support and wear something on the show one of these days. That'd probably be better promotion. So we'll do that. And then also want to give a shout out to Common Ground Kitchen, which you can find at cg.mobilekitchen on Instagram or cgmobilekitchen.com. And I just wanted to shout them out because they make such good food. And I've seen them. I normally have their food at Green Cheek. They used to be there pretty often, both pre-COVID. And you might have had their food one time, Jimmy, if you went there with me. I'm not sure, but they've been posted out there before. And I love that it's like Latin-based. Like they make a lot of Latin-based flavors, but it's also kind of fusion. So I think, let's see. Directly from their Instagram, it says chef-driven, Latin-focused, globally inspired. And I love that because it just shows you like what a melting pot that California is and what really the United States is. And being able to like bring one style of food and be inspired by food globally is just great, And so shout out to them because they make the best Cubano sandwich around. Well, maybe not the best. Well, yeah, the best. The best Cubano sandwich.
Yes, the
that I've
best.
had. The best.
The best.
The best. So shout out to them. I just wanted to. I just love them. I love their food, and I haven't been able to have their food in a long time. They're actually, fun fact. So there's a new brewery here in Anaheim, fairly new. It's called Brewery X. I don't know if you've seen anything about it, Jimmy.
No, I haven't.
But it's I can't remember. It was like it was under construction for a long time, so I was waiting for it, and it finally opened. I can't remember how long ago, last year sometime, and it was a fun experience. But point being that Common Ground Kitchen is serving up pizza there and whatever other food they make. I think for this 4th of July weekend, they're doing their normal menu. But they make pizza at Brewery X right now. I don't know if it's just going to be during COVID. I don't know if it's going to be a permanent thing, because I'm sure they still want to do their own thing. But who knows? So shout out to them. Brewery X, another great brewery here in Anaheim. And just love what they're doing.
Yep. And anybody out there, support your local brewery, please.
Yeah, support your local brewery. Support your small businesses. Support
the community.
Support the community.
Yep. Support.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Well, I guess we can talk about 4th of July. 4th of July is shut down tomorrow. So we're
a weird time.
We're filming this on July 3rd, the day before 4th of July, and nothing can be done. And I live by the beach, and the beach is shut down. But I don't really.
Do you guys normally have fireworks near there, like near the beach or anything?
Yeah, so you could see the fireworks in Long Beach, and you can just like kind of hang out just on the beach and just kind of watch them go. You don't have to. I don't have to go too far just to watch anything. But what has been happening around here though is they're trying to find the culprit. Is someone is shooting off fireworks.
Okay, so. That's happening everywhere.
Well, what people need to understand is we have a lot of palm trees and we have a lot of old houses next to each other.
That's true.
I'm like,
that's very dangerous in that area.
Yeah.
But
these are old. This is an old town.
Okay, but wait, Jimmy. So it's not just happening near there. It's happening everywhere right now. I think all around California. I don't know if all around the country. But because here in Anaheim, at least once an hour, I hear fireworks go off. And
which I completely get.
So do you know what that might be? I don't know if I'd call this a conspiracy, but I did hear, and there are some videos that kind of show that it might be true. So I don't know. I don't know what to give weight to, and I really don't want to get too political or anything. This is for the love of beer, not for the love of politics. But so I think it's supposedly supposed to be done by the police. The police are going around and setting off fireworks in random areas to kind of scramble the people and for them not to know the difference between or be able to hear the difference between a firework and a gunshot. And supposedly that's the quote unquote conspiracy. I don't know how much weight to give to the word conspiracy in this, and I haven't done too much research about it, so I really don't know. But I just thought it was
an
interesting little tidbit.
Where are you getting this conspiracy stuff from?
Instagram, man. Where do you think? Where does anything come from? That's where I get my news all day, every day. Instagram is facts.
Fake news.
Facts. Okay, Donald Trump. I said we weren't going to get political, Jimmy.
I know. I only said that because you said that. Oh man. But
man. But okay, but yeah, 4th of July is canceled, which is fucking weird.
Yeah, it sucks. I've been not really being able to hang out with your friends or family. I'm going to see my family, but just not being able to socialize with people as you usually do. Like me, I would kind of I would actually have my family over sometimes, and we would hang out on my iPad and let my nephews go to the beach. This is like a little hub. We have food catered or made or just cooked. It is kind of weird.
Yeah, and I think another point that I kind of wanted to bring up about 4th of July being canceled, and through this entire outcry that's happening right now for social injustice and just the things going on in this country, I've been seeing a lot of things about 4th of July being canceled for the reason that, like, it's a day that we're supposed to be celebrating our so-called freedom, yet there's so much social injustice it's being brought to the light right now. And it's almost discouraging, or it is discouraging. It makes me personally feel like, well, am I celebrating this great country? And not to say that, the USA isn't a great country, because we do have a lot of opportunities that other countries don't have. Yep. It's just unfortunate that we have certain systems and certain prejudices within our system that affect people that live here. And I feel like it's bittersweet even trying to celebrate 4th of July this year, because it's just like, it doesn't feel right now. It feels like a lot of the freedoms that we thought to be true just really aren't there. And so it's kind of discouraging to be celebrating what this holiday is supposed to mean. But with that said, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, because I think it is important to use this time to educate people. If I'm not saying don't celebrate 4th of July, because I get that it's a time for family to reconvene, socially distant and safe, number one. But I think you can make good out of a bad situation all the time. And 4th of July can be one of those days, And again, we don't want to get too into the politics of it. But I did want to mention it, and I just think we would be doing a disservice to not talk about it in some sort of way. And it's very important to use this time to continue speaking out. And it's a crazy time. It sucks. I hate to see people hurting. I hate to see all this injustice coming to light. And unfortunately, a lot of us were very ignorant and willfully ignorant. And hopefully this is a turning point for us. And hopefully we can celebrate this turning point. And at the time that you guys are probably listening to this, 4th of July will probably over. I don't think I'm going to upload this on the day of 4th of July. I'll probably upload this a couple days after. But hope you guys use the time in a way that was good.
Yep, it's hindsight 2020. Everything's coming clear now.
So, are you doing anything for the 4th, Jimmy?
Yeah, going to my parents' place, hang out, just see them. Haven't seen them since what was it, Mother's Day? I don't know.
Damn.
Dude,
Mother's Day, that's actually pretty long ago.
I forgot what weekend, but no, maybe like back in May. I probably see them like maybe 4 times a year, 4 or 5. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably see my parents. Well, I used to see my dad maybe like once a month. It definitely has shortened lately because of COVID. I finally saw him for Father's Day. And that was because it was Father's Day. And I didn't see my mom on Mother's Day, unfortunately, because things were a lot more aggressive with the COVID virus. But things started to open up again. And, we thought things were going to be a little safer. So we decided to, reconvene for Father's Day. But it's unfortunate that we can't see our family. I feel like we're trying not to talk about COVID, and we keep talking about COVID. Because it's so freaking relevant, like right now. Like everything that we're talking about just all ties into COVID.
That and like so the BLM stuff and all that. Yeah. Speaking of BLM, you showed me a badass article called Black is Beautiful Beer. You want to talk about that?
Oh, yeah. I do want to talk about that because I thought it was awesome. And cool. At first, okay, so let me tell you about how I started kind of seeing it and, well, Instagram. It all goes back to Instagram.
I know, fool. You're on your phone too much. You don't even fucking text me back. You don't even text me back.
You know what? I've been better at texting you back since we've been doing this Growler Hour.
Yeah.
For the reason that like I like we need to be like communicative, and I'm really bad at communicating. I'm really bad at keeping in touch. I'm really bad at like posting and like stuff like that. So I'm trying to turn a new leaf and do that for the Growler Hour.
Yeah, what's up,
but
dog?
I've been so in the Growler Hour, since we're starting this Instagram page and we're starting this podcast, I've been trying to get more into the beer side of Instagram. And in that, I've found some of the breweries that we follow and that I follow on my personal page have been posting this Black is Beautiful beer. And at first I thought it was just one brewery, like, you know, like, oh, we released this Black is Beautiful beer. And I started seeing other breweries posting the same thing. And I found out that it's a whole movement going on, or maybe not necessarily a movement, but a call to action, basically. And I thought it was really cool because of the fact that it was started by one person in San Antonio, Texas, I believe, from Weathered Souls Brewing. I have it written down here. I should probably look at my notes. By Marcus Baskerville. And so he wanted to create a beer, from what I read, that represents that represents the color black. And
he made a stout.
And he picked a stout. And I guess the reasoning behind, from what I read, and this isn't my own interview with him, but sources that I read, because a stout has so many different colors that go into it. If you look at a stout and some of the recipes that are made, there are a lot of colors that go into it, and a lot of flavors, and so much that you can do with it. And so I guess that was his beer of choice. So that's the start of it, right? And so he makes this initiative basically for other breweries to support and do the same thing. So I don't know the backstory. I don't know how it all started, but it seems to me that he then releases this recipe and promotes this movement, and other breweries start joining in and making the beer or a variation thereof. And so I think it's really cool. I
was reading up on it, and it's pretty cool. There's a bunch of breweries out there that's supporting and taking his menu. And
over 900.
Yes,
over 900 breweries. From my so I was on the website earlier, and they have a count on there for how many breweries are participating and in how many countries.
Yep.
So there were over 900. I can't remember the exact count, but from all 50 states. And 17 countries. I don't know why I threw a 2 up when I said 17. I don't know how to count.
It's funny because when you said over 900, I thought about Dragon Ball Z.
Over 9,000.
Yeah. It's over 900.
Gosh, over 900. God damn. But so I do have a list of some of the local breweries in our area that are participating in the Black is Beautiful beer. And I don't think I explained too much of it, but so there are a ton of breweries that are participating in this recipe and calling it the Black is Beautiful beer to bring awareness. I'm just going to read this specifically from the Black is Beautiful website. Their mission statement.
What they're basically doing is, all the proceeds for that Black is Beautiful beer is sending it all to foundations for Black communities.
And it's great. But so I wanted to read what their mission statement is straight off of their website, just to kind of give you an overview of what this means to him and what this means to the people supporting it. So it's a collaborative effort to raise awareness for the injustices people of color face daily and raise funds for police brutality reform and legal defenses for those who have been wronged. So again, he's asking the breweries that participate in this to donate 100% of their profits to these organizations that are going to help move forward this, I wouldn't say agenda, but this movement, and help the people that are in need right now and bring awareness to the social injustice that's happening. And I think it's great. 100% support. I want to try and find some of this beer to support and give some of my money to it. So, as I was saying earlier, we have some local participants, some local breweries in the general Orange County area. I was kind of looking at first through Instagram to try to find the breweries that were participating because I knew I saw posts from different ones, and I found a couple at first. And then I tried to see if there was an easier way to find, which brought me to the blackisbeautiful.beer website. Yes, that's .beer. That's pretty cool. Maybe that should be the Growler Hour's website, the growlerhour.beer. Anyways, so I was able to find a list of at least 21 breweries that are fairly local. Maybe some are a little bit driving distance, but since we're both in Orange County, I did want to mention these 21 breweries. So I'll just list them off. Number 1, Crowns and Hops, which I mentioned earlier. The Brewery, which is located here in Anaheim, BRUERY. Stone Brewing, Belching Beaver, Firestone Walker, Mumford Brewing, 8-Bit Brewing, AWOL Brewing. Everything's going to have brewing in the name, so I'm just going to start naming the first part of their name. So Alesmith, Ambitious Ales, Angel City, love that place. Beer Thug Life, love the name. Four Sons, Golden Road, Karl Strauss, Monkish, Smog City, Trademark Brewing, War Cloud, Russian River, which is just an honorable mention just because we had Pliny the Elder on the last episode. We had a crowler of Pliny the Elder. And I saw that Russian River was listed on one of the participating breweries. So I just wanted to mention them because who doesn't like Pliny the Elder? And last and not least on our list, Noble Ale Works. They were listed on the website. I haven't seen them post anything about it yet. As far as I know, I went on their Instagram earlier to see if they have posted anything. But I'm sure it's a brewing process, and I'm sure it takes time. So when they're ready to announce it, they're ready to announce it. But I think it's a great initiative, and I'm glad that local breweries are participating. So we'll post this list on our Instagram. We'll probably post this list in the description of the podcast so that any of you listening can go out and support this initiative, support this movement, and get some Black is Beautiful beer. And I think that's important.
All right, story time. So
story time for what? Wait, what? What story are we telling?
All right, no.
I gotta pour some more beer.
Go ahead. All right, so Belching Beaver. I was in Kernville. Belching Beaver's not out there. A guy was talking to me. He was talking to me about like a beer, and he's like, "Oh man, I had this Belching Beaver beer." I'm like, "All right, cool." Like I never heard of it. Like I haven't had them. And then
before you continue, is it the peanut butter milk stout?
Yes.
How does every story about Belching Beaver start off with that beer? It's literally I have a similar story, but every time I hear people talk about Belching Beaver or like talk about how they were introduced to Belching Beaver, it's always the peanut butter milk stout.
Yeah, so we were at a restaurant and we got that, like, we were just eating food, and it was mildly loud, and for some reason he decided, it's like, yeah dude, I'll show you right now, and then he kept you do the Siri thing. He was like, Belching Beaver, and then he said it the third time. I'm like, what's up, fool? You can't spell? We're talking shit, homie. And like I had this guy right next to me because he was kind of listening. I was like, you're an idiot, fool. Oh man, I totally forgot about that story.
Oh shit.
And then he
well, if we're talking about story time.
All right.
Sorry, continue.
No, so and then after that he was giving me shit about how I eat my sandwich because
to be fair, audience, Jimmy eats sandwiches like a fucking barbarian.
No, I don't. Come on. No, so the girl asked me, like, what do you want? Like, what do you want? And I'm like, I want a chicken sandwich. And the guy copied me, but I asked the girl, I was like, hey, can you get this cut in half? And then that guy was like, man, you bougie as fuck. Like, why? So you're gonna ask her to eat it cut in half? I'm like, yeah, fool. Like, what if I want to save it for later? I ended up eating it all, but I'm watching him. So sometimes, So sometimes when you eat a sandwich, it starts coming out on the other side, and I'm watching them, and I'm like, "Yeah, fool! Like that's why I couldn't have, dog." So he was like, "I should have cut it. I should have had a cut too." And I was like, "Yeah, idiot."
You're like, that's what you get, motherfucker.
Oh! So that guy, he's so funny because so we call him Rags. We were working up in like the Curtinville Mountains, and so we're working on like a slope, and then he had to go take a shit real quick. We see him running up the mountain, and then like, so he takes a shit, and then
you're already starting with the shit stories, Jimmy.
Yeah. So he was like, no. I was like, where'd you go? He's like, no, it's cool. It's chilling in the cut. And then so he like we were done off the slope, and we started walking up, and then and then we were walking by. We're like,
get the punch light out, Jimmy.
No, so he's like, no, it's just chilling in the cut. And then when we see a white rag off to the side, we're like, well, that ain't in the cut. So we started calling them rags.
No. Yeah. Why?
And then later on that night, he was like,
I don't think I want to hear more of this story, Jimmy.
No, so yeah, like we kept calling him rags. Like, people, they usually just call me DJ, and this guy next to me as well, he's like, just yells, DJ Rags. Nah, fool, it was fucking funny.
Oh my gosh. I hope other people found that funny. But DJ Rags. Shout out to DJ Rags. Yeah, if you're listening to this, we remember you.
Yep, Rags.
But speaking of stories, why don't we take this time to go down the Golden Road?
What's up? Oh, Golden Road? Fuck.
You caught that?
Yeah. Nice pun. Yeah.
So we're going to go down the Golden Road of a great story of how my life got turned upside down, and we got kicked out of Golden Road because of Jimmy, because of my very own co-host, Jimmy.
Yep.
Who just couldn't stay out of the kitchen.
Sorry, guys. Yeah.
Couldn't stay out of the kitchen.
I thought it was a shortcut. I don't know. So all right, let's go with your part.
You start. Okay. You start until we get to the point where you're about to step into the unknown, and then I'll tell my perspective, and then we'll go back to you. How about that?
So we were having very delicious beer, a lot of micheladas.
Where were we?
At Golden Road in Anaheim. And so we were having very delicious micheladas. Probably like what, 3, 4?
Well, I'm sure we had IPAs too. We probably had a Wolf Among Swedes or a Wolf Pup Session IPA. IPA? I don't know. Anyways, we probably had IPAs. We probably had micheladas.
Our ladies had sangrias.
Yeah. I do remember the sangrias.
And then I had to finish some. So we're hanging out in the swings in the back, and then we're like, we can take a leak. And then now this is your part of the story.
So we go to take said leak, and upon return from said leak, so let me preface this by saying, at this point we are very drunk.
Yes.
There are breweries that you go to just have a beer and have community and chill. And then there are breweries that you go to drink. And I feel like places like Golden Road, Angel City are those types of places. The bigger atmosphere type places. Not to say that it isn't a place that you can go and enjoy a beer and love their beer or anything. But I think in that type of atmosphere where there's so many more people, the craziness is promoted a little bit. And so, and we've been there on New Year's. I don't know if you remember.
I remember.
But we went on the New Year's day, and we have some pictures. They're not embarrassing. Okay. Anyway,
like carrying one another.
Oh yeah. They had a photo booth at Golden Road for New Year's, and we took some pictures, us and our lady friends. But Anyways, that's not this story.
Okay, yeah.
Our story. So basically, my point being is that when you go to Golden Road, you're probably going to drink more than just having an IPA to try,
It's
or
a faster
having whatever beer to try.
It's a lot of faster ambiance.
Yeah, it's a faster. I like the way you put that. It's a faster ambiance.
Yeah.
So with that said, we're drinking. We decide to go to the restroom, come back, and as we're on our way back, you see to the right of you drunk people, to the left of you more drunk people, even more drunk people. And to get to where we were on the outside. It's more than a patio. It's really of a yard. Like at Golden Road, it's a freaking yard. Like it's a field. It's a goddamn field. But yeah. So our girlfriends are out there. So we're going back out there to meet them. But to get to that area, you have to pass by the bar. You have to pass by the kitchen, the ping pong tables, every kind of, everything. So on our way back, we're walking, and Jimmy, all I see is Jimmy go, "Hey, watch this." And then just keep walking forward. As we're supposed to walk on the side of the kitchen and go to the outside, he goes, "Hey, watch this." Fucking veers left and goes through the 2 doors and just walks through the kitchen. And me, I'm like, oh shit, what is this guy doing? And I just keep walking. I'm laughing. I'm actually laughing. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing? I can't believe him.
Is this sangria food?
I can't believe. To this day, I can't believe you, Jimmy. You were that.
I was that drunk that time, and I feel so bad for the people that had to deal with me.
So I see you go in. What happens next, Jimmy?
I go in. I'm spotty blackout drunk, and next thing I know, I'm about to grab a pan. I'm about to cook. I don't know what I was doing.
What the fuck are you gonna make? What was on the menu that night, Jimmy?
I don't know, but I was like, "Hey, this needs to be taken
care of."
You're
like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna make some poke right now."
No, I was like, "Hey, this needs to be kind of like worked on." And so they kicked me out.
This needs to be worked on.
Yeah.
This guy went into Golden Road's kitchen and said, "Hey guys, I'm gonna show you how to cook."
Yeah. So I'm kicked out. Then now I'm blacked out.
Wait, okay, so you walk in, you start to grab for a pan. What happens? Does security yank your arm? Do you remember that part?
So yeah, someone grabs my arm, and then like I kind of black out, and then I come back into it, and I'm like, "Hey, I need."
And you're outside smoking your vape.
Yeah, and I'm like, "Hey, I need to get a hold of my friends so I can leave." And they're like, "No, you're not coming back in." I'm like, "Fuck, all right." And then so finally I got a hold of you guys, and then we had to leave.
Did you get a hold of us?
I don't know. I think you guys went to, or maybe one of you guys were looking for me.
I feel like, no. I think I went and told, okay, so we're switching back to my perspective now. Okay. So you're outside at this point. My perspective is I'm talking to the girls and I'm telling them, oh yeah, Jimmy went into the kitchen. Or Jimmy, I don't think I told them that you went into the kitchen. I might have just told them that Jimmy went off another way. I don't know. He just said, watch this, and walked away. And maybe I didn't know that you actually went into the kitchen. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But I was also pretty buzzed, drunk.
We were drunk. Uber. We were drunk.
Yeah. And we took an Uber that night. So PSA, use an Uber when you drink, guys.
Yeah, we were Uber drunk.
Yeah, we were Uber drunk, and we knew we were going to get Uber drunk, so we planned ahead. But I'm talking to them, and I think you don't come back for a while. And then finally they're like, okay, well, where's Jimmy? So I think at that point we walked outside and see you standing at the front entrance, because they have like a rolling like garage door type thing. Not garage door, but like a shop door. Yeah. Like the rolling metal doors. And we see you out there, I think. I don't know if we see you out there or we just decide to like walk out there, but we see you out there. And we're like, what happened? And the security guard is telling us, are you with this guy? We're like, yeah, we're good. He's like, no, you guys have to go. He's been kicked out. You guys have to go with him.
Yep. And that was pretty much it at Golden Road. But then
that was it at Golden Road.
And then the night continued.
So we Ubered back home. We're already hammered drunk. And I don't know what happened, but at some point you were really drunk, Jimmy. And I can't remember if I was trying to make an example of you or I was calling you out on something, but you were really drunk and maybe you were acting stupid. But I remember, no, you were trying to fight me, motherfucker. You were trying to fight me. That's what was stupid. That's what you were doing that was dumb. You were like drunk and belligerent. And you're like, hey, you want to fight? Like you were like I feel like you were trying to like push me or something, or you took something that I said incorrectly. And at that point you got aggressive. And
then someone took off their shirt.
And then someone took off their pants. And we'll just leave the rest of the story to everyone's imaginations.
Yeah. And then, I don't know what happened to that video, dude.
You made it?
No,
it sounds even worse now. I was like, we took off our shirts, we took off our pants, and we'll let your imagination run with that. And you're like,
I think I had my
I don't know what happened to that video.
Yeah, no, I might have to ask Stephanie if she still has that video. I'm pretty sure she does.
I think. Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah.
No, okay. To give context, nothing weird happened, guys. I know the story sounds really weird at this point. Our shirts and our pants were off,
but we weren't like punching each other. Like we weren't punching each other. We're just trying to pin each other down. No homo.
Nah, fool. You were punching me. We were punching each other.
We
went fisticuffs. We went fisticuffs, homie. Yeah. So I think you started like talking, either you were talking shit or you were getting aggressive. And I was like, Jimmy, calm down. Yeah, you were getting aggressive. I was like, Jimmy, calm down. It's all coming back to me now. And you started getting more aggressive when I was telling you to calm down. And you were just getting in my face. Like you weren't like pushing me or anything. You were just kind of like getting in my face. And I was like, not going to happen, man. Like, come on, you're in my house. You're in my apartment. Like, just sit down, shut up.
And I'll tell you right now, sorry about that. And that's why we are drinking Growlers right now.
Yeah, exactly. No, but so at that point, I think it wasn't like we just started fighting. I think it was like, Jimmy, if you don't stop, I'm going to put you down. And then you called me out on it. I think you like called me out on it. And so that's when the fighting ensued. So we started going a little bit of fisticuffs. It was like a boxing match mixed with a wrestling match. And at first it was just a little bit of boxing. And then so round one, you definitely beat me. Yeah. I can't remember if you pinned me down or if you just punched me out. But there was a point where my life flashed before my eyes and I thought I was a goner. So round one, there was a round one and a round two. And round one was pretty much just us going body and just punching each other. Mind you, at this point, I stripped down to my boxers because I was like, this motherfucker tries to really fight me, I'm going to kick him in his fucking head. And I wanted to make sure that all of my stretching points had enough room to clock you in the head because you are taller than me. And I haven't stretched. I haven't been very flexible in a long time. I could probably kick you in the head without flinching 10 years ago. Now, if I tried to kick you in the head, I'll probably fall on my ass. So to help me, I stripped down to my boxers and you did the same.
Oh, shit.
And that's what made the fight really weird. That's when things got weird. Because now we're both, I think you had your pants on at least, but you took your shirt off. I was in my boxers. And we start fighting. You win round one. I think you ended up pinning me. And I felt like a bitch. But the fights turned in round two when my fat ass sat on top of you to pin you down. I think so at that point I was like, all right, I already lost round one to this guy by trying to punch him out. round 2 is going to go differently. And so I'm pretty sure I don't know. I did some drunk jujitsu on you and brought you to the ground and sat on you until you gave in. And at that point, we were best friends again. We hugged in our boxers, and we hugged sweatily in our boxers.
I don't think they needed that part, but okay. I know, like
don't be embarrassed, Jimmy.
We were perfectly fine the next day.
Oh yeah, no, I mean we totally we hugged it out, bitch.
And then someone threw up in your sink that night.
We won't mention any names.
We won't. Yeah.
You could at least. I mean, the toilet's right. Like the toilet. Okay, so the sink's right here. The toilet is literally this far away from the sink.
Yeah.
That's all you had to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And so yeah, someone threw up that night, and damn, fully almost done. I'm like I'm barely halfway. You're drinking more than me.
Damn, really? This time? Usually you're the one like down to your bottom sit. Remember in the pilot, you drank an entire 64 ounce at the same time that I drank my 32 ounce. So
yeah, I know. I'm chilling, fool.
Damn, fool.
Yeah.
Drink it before it gets hot.
No, I'm still chilling.
Still chilling. All right. Well,
What'd you think about? What'd you think about?
I was just thinking, like, wow, we really told that story.
Yeah. Well, we actually told all of it this time.
We told all of it this time.
Yeah.
I think last time we definitely left some parts out, and I think every time we think about it, we start remembering more details as it happens.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so Jimmy, you mentioned earlier, a few seconds ago, that about Seal Beach closure, and I think you told me earlier today that Beechwood and Seal Beach closed for good, right?
Yeah, so after this was so Beechwood Barbecue, my spot. Hold
on. First, COVID takes Sanctum, my spot. Then COVID takes Beechwood, your spot. How?
Yeah.
I hate this, man. It's it sucks. And I'm sure there are plenty of other breweries that are affected by this, and there are plenty of other restaurants that are affected by this. And, I feel for them. And everything comes back to COVID. See, I'm telling you, Jimmy, everything we talk about, it just goes right back to COVID.
Well, I mean, it is a topical thing that has been happening. And so going back to Seal Beach, Beechwood Barbecue location. So I moved here 6 years ago, and I love it here. And or about 6 years ago. And this is one of the spots, the original spots for Beechwood that popped up originally. And, it was started by Gabe and Lana. And, they kept it running for about 14, almost 15 years. And, and it was just, and they had to kind of stop.
Well, I feel like that's still a pretty short life, which is unfortunate. Like 14, well, I don't know, because some restaurants and stuff only survive a few years and then go downhill. But I feel like with Beechwood's success, it came as a shock to me to hear that their original location, number one, Seal Beach is their original location?
Yes.
Okay. It was a shock to me that their original location had to close down. And was it on Main Street?
Yes, it was on Main Street, like pretty
much. Why didn't you ever take me there, man?
I have.
That's what no, you didn't.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, so the reasons why they kind of had to, so the reasons why they have kind of just shut everything down is because it's a small enclosed place, so you can't with this virus, they had to keep I was picking up beer from them for a little bit, but it was my spot when I moved out here, and it's a barbecue place, and it was really nice atmosphere. I met a lot of intelligent people, and it's just a good area, and it was walking distance for me, like 5-7 minutes just to get there. And it was, it was like when I saw their post a few days ago, it was kind of like heartbreaking for me because I got lost of a place that was just really great. And, they supported other breweries. They, what they did was they would have their beer, but then they would also bring in other breweries beer, like local places like Rip, But they recently, I think they recently closed
and
Rip.
Russian River, because
Yeah,
last
Russian
time we
River
had the
as well.
Pliny the Elder,
Russian River,
or not last week, but like 3 weeks ago, Russian River's Pliny the Elder, which I was stoked for because I had Pliny the Elder and I'm going off subject, but I had Pliny the Elder like years ago at Eureka Burger. It was one of the beers that they had on tap, and I loved it. And I feel like Pliny the Elder has so much hype, and for good reason. It's like Ballast Point Sculpin. It's just a great flavor. It's nice. It's smooth. It's crisp. It's an IPA. And so, anyways, continue.
Yeah. So, it kind of sucks that, they had to shut down, and, they're like a really nice business, and, they brought in like a community. They're just people that just would show up there, and you just see them like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's going on? It was, I won't say it's,
people do normally.
I mean, well, it wasn't a tight knit community, but it was people that kind of frequent there like a lot. And like I was able to frequent there a lot. It was a nice spot because it was like in a downtown beach area.
And I feel like that area, like what's great about Seal Beach, shout out to Seal Beach.
Thanks.
Is that it's such like it's a small town. It really is. It's a small city. And especially in that Main Street area where you live, I feel like there's a lot of community there. I feel like Main Street is really... All right. Okay, so I guess we had technical difficulties, which we're freaking prone to, and Jimmy's video stopped recording on Zoom. So here we are trying to pick up pieces yet again. So I know I was talking about the community in Seal Beach, and unfortunately Beechwood Barbecue, which was the original Beechwood location in Seal Beach, closed down. And I was just talking about how like it seems like Seal Beach is such a small town, not where everyone knows each other. I know that's kind of like an example or an exaggeration that people use all the time, but I think it's very like warm, it's comfortable, and like Main Street just seems like of all down, because I think you'll agree with me on this, Jimmy. If you think about downtown Upland, where we kind of grew up, like it's not the same as downtown Seal Beach. Like it's more like homely. It's more
you guys got
communal. You mean we used to have mountains?
Oh yeah,
I don't live out there no more.
Oh yeah, you're right in the cut.
I'm in Anaheim, homie. Anaheim Brewery.
That's right. which I'll bring up again. Noble Ale Works, very lovely beer.
Oh yeah, we actually, since this break happened, since we had to take an unfortunate random break because Jimmy can't get his computer under control. I put my beer in the freezer so it would get cold again, because we've been talking for a while, and once you leave a beer out for longer than 30 minutes, it starts to get pretty warm. And so through this podcast, we start to get warm beer.
I'm only 2/3 in, fool.
Yeah, that's about where I am.
Okay.
I think I'm about 2/3 of what would be, let's see. So I'm about at halfway, but this glass is obviously skinnier than the can. I think that brings it down to about 2/3. There we go, 2/3.
Oh, actually, I'm a little less than half.
Yeah. Well, going back to Beechwood, unfortunately they're closing.
Yeah.
And the only Beechwood that I ever went to, and I think I talked about this in the pilot, maybe? Did I talk about it in the pilot, or did I talk about it in the Lost Files? That's what we're going to refer to it as now, just the Lost Files. That'll be episode 1.
Yeah,
but,
you went to the Long Beach location. Oh, which is now temporarily closed down. Well, unfortunately.
Temporarily closed down. Oh, wait, I heard because one of their employees got coronavirus and they want to continue testing. I don't know. Did you look into what was happening? But I did see that post.
Not too deep into it, because I had just saw it right before we started this.
All right. Well, let me confirm what I think is true. But from what I believe, I remember seeing their post saying something along the lines that they had to close temporarily because one of their employees. Hold on. Our Long Beach location is temporarily closed for dine-in and to go. We were notified on Tuesday morning that one of our Long Beach employees tested positive for COVID-19. The employee was last on site Thursday, June 25th. This employee followed all the safety compliances. And so basically they go on to say that, like, you know, I believe they did a good job in implementing the safety that needed to be implemented. But unfortunately, this virus is so crazy. And again, coming back to COVID, everything comes back to COVID.
Exactly. I was going to bring that up. Well, I mean, that is really the only thing going on right now, other than not having not doing 4th of July, really.
Yeah. So in their Instagram post where they talk about the closure, they're just basically saying, so I guess they already got tested. Their employees already got tested. The rest of the employees came back negative. So no one who's there right now from the first test shows that they're negative. But there is one employee that may have gotten COVID from a family member or something. And so they're closed right now. They said at least for a week, from what I understand, because per the CDC's recommendation, you should get tested once and make sure you have a negative, and then make sure you get a second test to make sure that you get a second negative, just to be sure, basically. So that's what they're doing, and they're which I applaud what they're doing, because they're going the extra step, whereas other places, like I feel like places like Walmart and Target that are getting cases of COVID aren't doing this much. They're just saying, oh, okay, well, we're going to continue sanitizing. We're going to continue, taking these precautions, but not actually going out of their way to getting their employees tested. And if Beechwood, help their employees get tested, great for you guys. And I appreciate that, because it's a crazy time right now, and not everyone can really, have access to it. I feel like.
This is going to be way off topic, and I just thought about it right now after all this time. Have you ever thought that your orange shirt makes you look like a pumpkin?
Moving on.
I was like, man,
as I was saying, you just always got to come in and talk shit about my shirts, huh? I can't wear even a plain T-shirt. You have to say something about. Moving on, I appreciate that Beechwood is taking the extra step to get a second test for their employees.
Yeah,
just to make sure before they open. But Beechwood is cool. I liked it. I think I said in the last time that we talked about it that I wasn't sure about the atmosphere. It was kind of like a burger joint vibe. Not that it is a burger joint, because it's not. It's barbecue. But it had like a burger joint vibe. Not that it reminded me of a Johnny Rockets, but just like the atmosphere of it was like a nice finer end burger joint, which is great. I mean, I like it.
Yeah.
But Beechwood's cool. I like their beer. What else can be said? Unfortunate that all these breweries have to close either permanently, indefinitely, or just temporarily.
Yeah, so they had a series of IPAs that I did one night. So it'd be like an IPA, double IPA, triple IPA. So it was like Hop Nino, Hops of Fury, and then Hop Ninja. I think I might be switching the last two around, but I ate them and I drank them in succession, and then I went home. I was about to drink some water before I went to bed, and then I fell asleep on my couch, and I was like, and then I had to go see them the next day. I was like, dude, that shit fucked me up, because it went from I think
we talked about. I think in the pilot you were like, have you ever had a single, a double, and a triple IPA in succession?
Yeah, well, I moved. I just wanted to do it because it's like it was like one of those days that like they had all of them, and I was like, all right, let's do it. And what's it called? Yeah, fucked me up. Yeah,
Yeah, I get that. I mean, that's what happens when you drink beer. That's what happens when you're an avid beer drinker, a beer enthusiast. Because we are, I mean, we like to, and we said this in the last with our interview with Scott, that we're not really like prissy beer drinkers, and we're not like people who appreciate beer the way some of the brewers do, and some of the beer judges and all that do. We're your average consumers, number one. And we want to bring this on an average consumer level. And so I just feel that, that's where we're coming from. Yeah. I don't know where I was going with that. I have no idea.
I don't know either.
The beer's starting to kick in now. I had a point. I started going on with that point, and once I got to a certain area, I just forgot where I was going.
And we're drinking beer, and what's it called? It's also summer, you know.
It's the luck of the Irish. That was not a good accent.
I
am not doing well with these accents. I am not doing well. Last episode, same thing. I think I tried to do a German accent, and I sounded like a weird leprechaun.
Yeah, that's all right, man. That's why
it almost reminds me of okay, so going to the next topic, actually, it reminds me of the episode that I watched last night on Blues Brothers, where when the monks are introduced, and we'll get into more of this in a second, but there's an episode of Blues Brothers where the actor monks meet the actual Belgian Trappist monks. And then they're doing these crappy accents, and one's like bad, like one's like so bad it turns from like a wannabe Scandinavian type accent to like English to leprechaun, and they get called out on it, and it's funny. But that brings me to something that we wanted to talk about in this episode, which is a great Netflix original called Blues Brothers. And again, we talked about this during the interview with Scott Lucas from Sanctum Brewing, because I recommended it to him. We kind of like talked about like, have you ever listened to it? Because it reminded me, he talked about the actual Belgian monks, which I thought in the show were just like, you know how TV shows are always pretty much just fantasy, even if they're fiction, there's always stuff, even if they're nonfiction, there's always still stuff that is exaggerated in a way. Yeah. So, and granted, the Trappist monks are way over exaggerated in the show, but I didn't think that they were actually real, which, like, for someone like me, who's an average consumer, like, why would I know that Belgian monks, Trappist monks that brew beer are a real thing? You know, it sounds like something out of a story. So I just thought that was funny. But going back to Blues Brothers, it's a cool show. I told you to watch it, Jimmy, and I don't know how you felt about it.
It was really funny. I loved it. Actually, I think it was like 10 o'clock or.
Yeah, you text me at 10:30. I've been telling this guy. I said, hey, Blues Brothers is a good show. It talks about beer. It's about a brewery, and I'll get into more of that later. But I tell this guy from the beginning of this week to start watching it so that we could talk about it on this episode, because I thought it could be a good topic and also promotion for a show that I know. I mean, who needs promotion for that show when they're already on Netflix? But like I was telling you, watch it every day. Finally, on Wednesday at 10:30 at night, when I'm already asleep, I see this text in the morning. You're like, all right, I'm going to get it started now. And then you binged it until 2 a.m. that night.
Damn, fool. You're already in bed like at 10:30? You're getting old, homie.
Dude, I go to work. I have to wake up. Well, I choose to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning so that I can be at work at 7. Just so that I have time to make breakfast and stuff. And so that's my life, man. Yeah, I go to sleep pretty early.
You actually make breakfast? Yeah,
dude. I make breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Okay.
I mean, I buy breakfast, but I only make breakfast on like weekends or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, normally I at least so normally I meal prep, and not like meal prep to be like fit or healthy or anything, but I make all my meals like I pre-make all my meals for the week. And so normally I would do that with breakfast, but lately I haven't been. Yes, I get that that's meal prep. But most people do meal prepping for like fitness. So they'll specifically, when you talk about like, okay, when I normally tell someone that I meal prep, they say, "Oh, so you're into fitness?" I'm like, "No, not really."
It's like, do you look
at this? Pizza in my mouth.
It's like, do you look at me?
Thanks, Jimmy. I'm not that big. Actually, I've lost 20 pounds in the last few months. So
same here.
Yay me. Yeah, but you were already like, you didn't need to lose the 20 pounds.
I know.
You lost weight that you didn't need. I lost 20 out of the 60 that I need to lose. So
yeah.
But anyways, I mean, that's another story. Can we get to Brews Brothers now, Jimmy?
If you want, yeah, we can do it.
All right. So it's a cool show. It's about basically, well, first off, it's starring Mike Castle and Alan Eisenberg, who play two brothers in a brewery setting. One of them owns this brewery. He's a brewer who trained with Trappist monks in Belgium to learn how to brew beer. So now he came back. He's in Van Nuys, California, near Los Angeles, for those who aren't from here. And he just makes beer. And his goal is to make good beer and bring community together in Van Nuys, California, which I feel like is so relatable for most of the brewers and breweries out there. I think it's, and maybe the show is a little too crass or over the top for some brewers, and I don't know how other people feel about it, but I like it. I think it's hilarious, number one, and I think it kind of hits home for the average consumer like me who goes into these microbreweries that are just trying to make it and just trying to make good beer and trying to bring people together, and I think it's cool. So that's one of the brewers. The other brewer is his brother, who they come together again. Who
is snobby?
Who is snobby? That's a great point, Jimmy. Talk about his snobbiness.
Well, he just he'll smell the beer. He'll try to understand everything that was put into it, and then he'll just shit on it, basically.
And that's what a snob is. No, he shits on it. Okay, so there are beer snobs that won't drink Budweiser. This guy literally won't drink any beer unless he brewed it. That's how snobby he is. Yeah. Which makes me think, is his beer actually that good, or is it just because he has his thumb so far up his ass that he's like, my beer is the best?
I got to give appreciation to breweries out there that are really intricate with their naming and naming their beers too.
Oh, naming their beers and stuff.
Well, naming their bills and their beers, and then naming their places. It's I'm like, I would never think about that. Belching Beaver.
That
I would never.
Dirty.
I mean, yeah. I mean, now that you put it that way,
But I mean, we are the Growler Hour. We came up with a catchy name.
I have never thought about that, but now it does sound dirty.
Well, Jimmy, if and when we start brewing our own beer, which probably won't be on a large scale or anything like crazy, but I think it'll be cool for us as the Growler Hour to brew some beer together, make some beer, and drink it on the show. So if and when we start to do that, we can definitely name it whatever the hell we want, and join into this community of clever naming and puns.
Ooh, no, I got a good pun, but I'm not going to say it on here. I'll tell you later.
Well, now everyone wants to know, Jimmy.
Called GH Brewery.
Why?
Well, GHB is fucking drugs, fool.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, I mean that's
okay. Moving on. We're talking about Brews Brothers, and it's a great show.
That's Growler Hour, foo.
It is Growler Hour. You're a Growler Hour.
I'm a Growler Hour, right?
Yeah, you're a Growler Hour. I'm Growler Hour. We are Growler Hour. And with that said, Brews Brothers is a great show. It's a Netflix original. I recommend everyone who's into beer watch it. Give us your opinions. Message us. Comment on the YouTubes and stuff. No, but it's funny. It follows two guys who are at odds with each other, two brothers who are at odds with each other, as many brothers are, who don't agree with each other, and follows them trying to kind of make this small brewery successful. And with that, in a sitcom, there's a lot of mishaps, a lot of funny shit that happens. I like to make the comparison of it being, and I hate making comparisons because I don't want to just bottle a show down to like, oh, well, it's this show, but just different. That's not what I mean. But it does. I mean, but it's very reminiscent of It's Always Sunny in the type of humor that it has, but set instead of an Irish pub, it's set in a brewery. Which for us, I mean, we're the Growler Hour.
I don't know if I would compare it to Sunny because they have certain scenes and areas.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. It's not like the same. It's
not sitcom-y, but it's very good.
It's. I feel like it's pretty sitcom-y. I feel it's pretty sitcom-y. It's a situational comedy. The situation is there are two brothers who are at odds trying to start a brewery.
You know what type
and the comedy is that it's fucking funny.
You know what type of show it kind of reminds me of? It's kind of like, you ever watch that show, The New Girl?
Yeah. Well, that's a sitcom.
Oh, well, I mean, not like sitcom, like laughter in the background. But like,
no. But there's different kinds of sitcoms. It's like Community's a sitcom, but there's no laugh tracks. It's like many other sitcoms. Like It's Always Sunny does have laugh tracks, doesn't it?
No.
Oh, it doesn't?
No.
I thought it did. Oh no, it just has music all the time.
The only one episode. The only one episode that they did like kind of like a sitcom was when they were like watching Mac and Charlie's moms, and they like were kind of like making a show about it. Yeah.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I do remember that.
Well,
okay. Well, anyways, so you like Brews Brothers.
Yep.
Made some comparisons that may be false.
I would.
You don't recommend it?
I would recommend it.
Oh, you would recommend it. I heard.
I would recommend it.
I heard don't.
Oh no, I would.
I think you're just shitting on the show now.
No.
The same way that monk was shitting out truffles.
Yeah, what was up with that? Or like when
well, it's funny. That's why I thought the whole monk thing was so over exaggerated because they were so wild and crazy.
Like with that
pipe. No spoilers, but
yeah, like with that long pipe to get him.
Oh, the traditional stirring.
Yeah.
What was it? It was like a traditional stirring oar or something like that.
Just to kind of like be part of the club.
Yeah. So I'm done with my beer.
I still got some left.
You still got some left? Well, I mean, I think we're pretty close to done, so I don't think I'm going to crack open another one. I think we can kind of just start closing, man.
Yeah. So everybody, just I don't know if you want to plug in all those, everyone again.
Yeah, so a few things that we talked about today that I think we should plug in. Number one, Noble Ale Works, who were the unofficial sponsor who provided us with beer for this podcast today. Our Irish was a little bit taller, Irish Red, 4.8% alcohol volume, and it's great. Highly recommend. It's a great red ale. Moving
check out one of our friends, his Life in Zero Gravity podcast, and follow him at Life in Zero, the number 0 Gravity on Instagram. And then you had friends with Fiction Clothing.
Yeah, Fiction Clothing, fiction.Los Angeles on Instagram and fictionlosangeles.com. And then Common Ground Kitchen which was an honorable mention in my head. I just think they make great food. I think They're one of my favorite brewery catering vendors, or I don't know what you want to call them, because they're not a food truck. They bring a stand, like a canopy, and they bring all their equipment. And yeah, I think they're one of my favorites for sure. Every time I go to the brewery or Green Cheek, I'm expecting them to be there. And then they're at Brewery X right now in Anaheim, California. Go to Brewery X, try some beer, and get some Pizza X, which I guess is the fusion between Brewery X and Common Ground Kitchen, where they're making pizza specifically for Brewery X. And like I said earlier, I don't know if it's going to be a permanent thing that they do, or if Brewery X is just going to take over the pizza stuff and then Common Ground continues to bounce around from brewery to brewery. I don't know. But I love what they do, love their flavors, love their food. Shout out to those guys. They're the best. Every interaction I've had with them, they've been awesome, just genuine guys. If I ask for something, they'll make it happen. Like I always bring my dog to the brewery, and you know this, Jimmy.
Yep.
I used to bring my old dog. Now that I have a new dog, we're starting. Well, the one time that we went to the brewery when COVID started lifting up, we went to Green Cheek and we brought her. But normally we bring our dog, and anytime there's a food vendor, I get food for my dog. And I always have to ask if they can give us like meat that's unseasoned or something. And they were very helpful. They were very accommodating to, give my pup some food. So appreciate them. They're cool.
Yeah. So also, tell your friends about the Growler Hour. I mean, this was more of a serious episode because there are serious things going on, I mean, I hate to bring it back to the COVID and, there's the, BLM, Black Lives Matter, and they do. And
it's just, Black is Beautiful beer, because I think it goes beyond just an organized movement or a corporation or whatever it is that's organization that's making this movement. It goes beyond that, and it's real people. It's real people who are affected by this. And I think the Black is Beautiful beer initiative, movement, whatever you want to call it, is great to bring awareness in this industry. And I implore all you people listening to do some research. Go to blackisbeautiful.beer.com. You can on the front page, if you scroll down to the bottom, first off, there's 2 links for breweries that want to get involved, and breweries that want to get involved can sign up there. And then there's also a call to action for just people who are average consumers. So you go scroll down, or you click the link that says for the average consumers or whatever it is, and it'll bring you down. It'll just say you can buy your beer from these places to support, and you can filter by state, which is great because that's how I was able to compile this list of 21 breweries that I was able to get. Because at first I was just looking through Instagram trying to find the breweries that were local that I've seen posts. And I was like, there's got to be an easier way to do this. And I went to blackisbeautiful.beer.com. Oh, no, just blackisbeautiful.beer, no .com at the end. And you can filter by state which breweries are participating in it, which is great because now you can go there, find a brewery near you. You can either Control F in your browser and type in your city or a local city, or just type in CA for California and click through each option, which is what I did to make this list. That way I could look through like which ones were near me and which ones weren't. So I think that's great. And again, I'm just going to go through this list one more time. If anyone hears, I guess, a name that sounds familiar to you in your area, jot it down, follow them, ask them about the Black is Beautiful beer, and see when they're coming out with it so that you can be one of the first to support them and try it out, as I hope that I am able to as well. I think I'm going to start by trying to go to The Brewery, BRUERY. They're right up the street from me. Noble Ale Works shows as one of the breweries that's participating. Might want to go there as well, or whichever one. But the other breweries are Crowns and Hops, The Brewery, Stone Brewing, Belching Beaver, Firestone Walker, Mumford Brewing, 8-Bit Brewing, AWOL Brewing, AleSmith, Ambitious Ales, Angel City, Beer Thug Life, Four Sons, Golden Road, Karl Strauss, Monkish, Smog City, Trademark Brewing, War Cloud, and Noble Ale Works. And some of those are in the Orange County area. Some of I think I made it put like one or two that were in San Diego, one or two that were in Los Angeles. So if you heard one that's familiar to you, go check them out, ask when they're releasing these beers, and buy some and support the cause.
Yeah, and so on that note, I mean, this podcast can come out after 4th of July, and I hope everyone was safe. And you know, I know you can't hang out with your family, but at least I know you can't hang out with your friends, but at least you can hang out with your family. And I hope you had a great time, and everyone's just safe.
Yeah, and speaking on that, be careful. I know it's a time. Well, we're probably saying this in hindsight for most of the people because this is probably going to come out after 4th of July. I'm definitely not going to edit this and upload it tomorrow. This is July 3rd for you guys who are listening. We're recording this on July 3rd. So tomorrow is 4th of July, Saturday. And I guess what I would like to say then is I hope that you guys practice social distancing, practice safety measures, sanitary measures to make sure that you're not spreading the virus or contracting it, and just taking care of your family. Because at the end of the day, me being 28 may not be affected as much as my dad who's in his 60s. So I take that into consideration before I decide to, go see him, which I've only done once during this time. So I just hope everyone stayed safe out there, followed all the quote unquote rules, and wore your masks. That's all I got to say about COVID, man.
Well, we kept bringing it up. So, I mean,
well, everything ties back to it, man. We're even at the end of this show, man. We're still talking about COVID, and that's just the times that we're in right now.
Yeah, super crazy. I mean, all right, I'm not gonna say anything.
Well, yeah, you know, Jimmy, but you probably shouldn't. But
no, it's nothing bad. Like that's the thing. That's what sucks because I'm usually a social person, so I usually go out and. Yeah, it sucks having to be inside.
But don't be a Karen. Don't be sitting here like, I need my haircut. Haircut lives matter. Shut up. Don't be ignorant.
I never really got too into that.
Well, yeah. It's just I just
kind of like saw some stuff, and I was like, it kind of seemed like some ignorant shit. So, I mean, I finally did get my haircut, and I wore a mask and everything. But
yeah, actually, I got my haircut too. Y'all can see.
Yeah, no, I know. What's up with that fade, fool? Yeah, what's up, dog?
No, but yeah, I mean, when I went and got my haircut, practice safety measures. It was an isolated studio that I went to, so it wasn't like I was in a room with a bunch of random people all in the same space, breathing on each other or anything. All right, man. Well, that concludes today's Growler Hour. I think we've done a good job of. I feel like this was a very serious one. We really didn't joke around too much.
Well, yeah, on topic. We stayed on topic. I mean, usually we just bullshit around. But it is a time for us to kind of bring stuff up and just kind of bear with the communities out there, that are kind of. Just going through some stuff.
Not bear. I think bear with is probably the wrong term, but
or just like
support, and stand with. I think that's better.
Yeah, I guess that is a better thing to say. No, I'll just just kind of like, support for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So again, check out Black is Beautiful beer, number 1. Number 2, 4th of July is canceled. Hope you guys are staying safe or stayed safe during your 4th of July weekend. And appreciate you guys listening. I don't know if you want to say anything else, Jimmy.
And then check out. I wish I was a little bit taller from that Irish Red from Noble Ale Works.
I wish I was a little bit taller.
Yeah. I wish it was a little bit taller.
Yep.
It was good. It was very delicious, and I'm still trying to finish it.
I'm already done, man. I'm all out.
I'm babysitting mine, apparently.
Well, that's fine. I mean, technically, the way this should be working is that we're drinking it and finishing it by the end, and that's exactly what we did for the first time. We're getting better at this, Jimmy, and I appreciate it.
One more drink.
Oh. And he finished. And with that, thank you for listening to the Growler Hour. That was bad.
Growler Hour. That was bad. I mean, what's up? Is this WrestleMania?
Oh, yeah. The Growler Hour coming to you live.
Yeah. What's up, Randy Savage?
Well, I mean, that's what I was going for the first time, but it just didn't work out. And instead I sounded like, the Growler Hour.
Josh, you're a good friend. Goodbye.
Wow. That's how you're going to end this podcast?
Just kidding, fool.
Just like that? Josh, you're a good friend. Jimmy, you suck. Goodbye.
Josh, you swallow. Goodbye.
And with that, that is the end of today's Growler Hour.
Hey, cool. We got to be
Appreciate you guys.
Funny. Come on, dog. We got to be a little bit funny.
Yeah, you know what? We were very serious.
We had zero.
Let's get a little humor. Ha ha ha. Suck and swallow. Ha 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 ha. So funny, Jimmy. Juvenile humor. Well, appreciate you guys listening. Listen to the last episode where we interviewed Scott Lucas from Sanctum Brewing. And continue listening to us. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify.
He was a great guest.
Follow us on Instagram. Thank you for listening. And appreciate you guys. This has been the Growler Hour. See you later.
Later.